Next up, an exciting chance to meet Brig Hartson, who's the quarterback for the Roosevelt Roughriders, who just advanced to the semifinals in a very exciting storybook kind of way. You tell us what just happened where you beat Fort Morgan and now you're in the semis.
So I woke up feeling good that day. I knew we were going to walk out with a W, but, they came ready to play. And I've always kind of known Fort Morgan's a tough downhill football kind of team, blue-collared kids. So I kind of expected them to come at us hard, and they did. They brought their A game. So with that, we just needed to respond. I think it took us a little bit in that first half to get up and going, and then came back second half with the 2 scores with the game-winning field goal by Brecken in order to seal the deal.
And let's kind of talk more about what happened in the final minutes there. Fort Morgan came down the field, about a minute and a half left in that game. They score on a touchdown pass. They go ahead. And then you guys block the kick. So what happens when you realize it was Robinson, right, who made the
Clayton
block?
Robinson.
Yeah, he makes that block, and all of a sudden now what's the mindset when you realize it's not a 3-point game, it's just a 2-point game?
I kind of realized, even if we don't score, we were marching down that field with full intent to put it in the end zone, but they bottled us up when they needed to. But I knew we still had our senior kicker, Brecken Sawyer, always been reliable, hasn't missed a PAT, hasn't missed a field goal all year. So I knew he was reliable, and I knew we'd put it in and seal the deal with that.
That was a chance for you where you're kind of a balanced offense. You don't throw the football a lot in your quarterback position, but you made some high-level elite pass connections to Jaden Herrera, including the one that got you down to around the 15-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that special for you, where you guys connected at just the right moment in a storybook way to put yourself in a field goal position?
So Fort Morgan did have us bottled pass game pretty well. We run a spread offense, so we pass a bit, run a bit, but Fort Morgan managed to bottle that up quite a bit towards the very end. And then Jaden Herrera had a very good last drive there. He blocked with relentless effort, and then he caught the ball and got the yards when we needed him to.
And when we're looking at, all that's going on, eavesdropping in, where all of a sudden kick team goes out there, did you have any exchanges with Brecken Sawyer before he kicked it?
I kind of looked at him. We met when he was going on. I was coming off. I said, "Hey, you got this." And he knew it. He walked out there full confidence, high five, ready to go. He just put it in.
And when he did put it in, where were you? And did you have a chance to get right to him? Or where'd you end up?
Sideline with my helmet off, pumping it in the air. Went to go find teammates, my lineman, my brother, and then go find Brecken after.
What a great moment for Sawyer, Herrera. You think of, Robinson making that critical block PAT. And then, of course, for you, you're a quarterback now who is 13-4 all-time as a starter. And one of the fun elements to your story is, when you got into your freshman summer, your class actually didn't have a quarterback, and you definitely were not a quarterback.
No.
But you decided to call up the head coach and say, look, if that's a position we need to fill, I'll go ahead and do that. So how do you rethink what that was that you did and offered to your team?
So going into 8th grade, we had a quarterback. His name was CJ, but he ended up moving to a different school. So came in the next year, I was asking the running backs, kind of the more athletes, because I was a tight end kind of blocker guy, So I was asking them, hey, what are we going to do? And nobody wanted to do it. So I was like, if that's what we need, okay. And I did not have a very good start. Freshman year was horrible. I was just looking through some film the other day. It was not pretty at all. So to have come so far says a lot about our coaching staff and our quarterbacks coach, and just how much they trusted me and just let me do my thing, and they coached me up after.
Your head coach, Lane Wassinger, says that the moment that you offered to do that for your team, he realized how special you were. What do you think were the special elements that he realized about you at that moment?
I think he kind of saw I was willing to put myself, under the team. What the team needs is more important than what I need. So I wasn't worried about my receiving touchdowns that I wanted that year. I was just worried about how can I help my team move forward and get better.
And let's keep in mind that Lane Wassinger realized that you were a big guy like you were describing, and maybe a tight end. You play defensive tackle, right?
Right.
How do you think that makes you more unique than any other quarterback in the entire state? You're a QB and a DT.
Right. I couldn't name any others.
And then your staff says you do still rotate in here on your senior year
Mm-hmm.
along that defensive line, which is outstanding. Fits your toughness too. Something else we need to know about you. In 2019, you qualified and made state as a wrestler. What weight class were you in?
Last year I was at 170 pounds.
Okay. What kind of experience with that going to the Pepsi Center? How does that carry over to, how you do good things on the football field?
I think wrestling and football go hand in hand more than any two sports I know of. Like I can think of a couple. Cooper Walton, one of our star players, wrestled, and he was an extremely good middle school wrestler. Clayton Robinson, one of the reasons why we won that game when we blocked that PAT. He's one of our most outstanding wrestlers on the team. Tommy Brake, he's probably going to be one of our heavyweights this year. Matthew Rolls, both our center and right tackle both wrestle. So I think a lot of we kind of have a team bond, 2/3 of the year when we're wrestling and playing football. So that helps with team bond, toughness, cardio, feet movement, hand movements, just all of it.
Why do you think it fits that the quarterback for Roosevelt also plays D tackle? It sounds like half the starters also wrestle. It's just part of your identity for the Riders.
It shows who Roosevelt is. We're tough kids out here.
Let's talk about the story with you being a pole vaulter. How did you decide to, start competing in that specific discipline in track and field?
So I think a part of it has to do with the pole vault coach also is our head football coach, Lane Wassinger. So that was part of it. And also years prior, all through middle school, I did gymnastics. And I was my favorite events were probably like parallel bars and the high bar. And like I think overall that helped with overall core strength and just strength and the stuff I need to do for pole vault. And obviously it looks fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does look fun.
And
it's you're more talented than I'll ever be. I could never pull that off.
It's kind of scary, but I love it.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Well, so how tall are you and what's your weight? I always ask physical stats.
I am 6'2" and 190 pounds.
Okay, so you're a big quarterback, especially at the Class 3A level.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you have any plans in the future?
So I plan on going to a university and pursuing a degree in business marketing or sales. I could see myself playing football at the college level. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But a big part of why I do football is the people I do it with. And the only hard part about doing football in college is that I'm probably not going to get any of the people I do it with now,
Right.
And that's why I love it, because of the people I'm around.
Well, I think sales wouldn't be a bad thing either, right? Look at you. You're
not
marketing your Roosevelt football program right now.
That's right.
Nice work. And you got kind of a cool name with it. It's Brig, right?
Yes.
We have to say Brig, but full name is Brigham. Where does that come from?
So when I was born, my parents were Mormon. So that came from the college in Utah, I think, Brigham Young University.
Okay. And we do need to understand, though, that unless it's mom addressing you, Brig is what it is.
It's Brig. That's right. On the football field, on the mat, and on the track, I'm Brig.
Well, you have some great opportunities continuing ahead on the football field. Coming up, you are preparing for a semifinal matchup with a program that Roosevelt has never faced in playoff history in Pueblo South. We're talking about two programs that within the last half decade have state championships on their resumes. What are your expectations? What's your mindset for you individually and as a group coming up on a semifinal weekend against the Colts?
So obviously this Thanksgiving week, the number one thing is going to be 1-0. Like our opponent, Pueblo South, obviously a very good team, undefeated. All of us have had a bit of a rough year with coronavirus. So I'm excited to play them, and I'm excited to be 1-0.
What makes you believe that the Riders are going to beat the Colts and advance to a championship game?
Because I know what we have, and I don't know anything about them. So all I can trust is that our bond and our team is stronger than what they have.
We're here for the ones with big hearts, the ones with big calluses, the ones who go the distance, the ones holding down the fort, the weekend warriors, the crafty ones, these crafty ones too, and the ones just being themselves. Here's to the ones who define the Colorado spirit. We're proud to be the community bank that helps them live that way, because we're not just a bank in Colorado, We're Bank of Colorado. There's only one.